drug trafficking, sale of human organs, illegal cooperation with foreign companies, and violation of numerous international laws. All this is part of Armenia's track record. The Armenians are committing these acts not only in their home country, but also in the Armenian-occupied territories of Azerbaijan, in Nagorno-Karabakh and the 7 adjacent regions. Vartan Sirmakes, an ethnic Armenian Swiss businessman who is a co-founder and CEO at Frank Mueller Group, may face a jail sentence of up to 10 years and is charged with 3 articles of Azerbaijan's criminal code: border trespassing, public calls aimed against the state, and engaging in illegal entrepreneurship with high earnings. Sirmakes is accused of committing these acts in the occupied Azerbaijani territories. Sirmakes is said to have attended the opening ceremony of a gold mine in the Zangilan region without receiving authorization from a relevant Azerbaijani state body. The businessman has been declared internationally wanted by Azerbaijani authorities.
В последнее время это участилось вообще-то посещение.
Visits by foreigners and foreign companies to Azerbaijan's territory of Nagorno-Karabakh, occupied by Armenians, have lately become more frequent. First, a question should be asked as to what is the purpose and reason for their visits to these territories anyway. Lately, there was some uproarious man called Sterligov from Russia who visited there too. And though he was wanted in Russia, he showed up in the area of Nagorno-Karabakh so that he would allegedly set up his own firm there, arrange some kind of a business. When you check it out, however, it turns out that they actually came there for money laundering, for some sinister ideas, and it seems to me that they also had some intelligence-related goals. We are witnessing that some foreign companies are conducting entrepreneurial activity in the occupied territories of Azerbaijan. Usually, these are small firms operating under the influence of the Armenian lobby. Azerbaijan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has learned that the number of such companies is approximately 150, 170. They are being kept in the focus of attention of the country's foreign ministry. One of these companies is owned by Swiss citizen Sarkis Mueller. The Azerbaijani side has launched a criminal case against him over the violation of the law on the state border of the republic. Despite repeated warnings from Azerbaijan, some foreign companies continue to cooperate with the separatists based in the occupied Azerbaijani territories. Thus, tens of cellular operators are launching cooperation with Karabakh Telecom Company, which is based in the occupied Nagorno-Karabakh. This firm has been operating illegally since the early 2000s and has signed roaming deals with a number of foreign companies by means of deception. As a result of the work done by Azerbaijan's foreign ministry with cellular operators of the world, the cooperation of a number of firms with the Karabakh Telecom operator, which is illegally operating in the occupied territories of Azerbaijan, has been suspended. We had appealed to the International Telecommunication Union, and after that the roaming agreements with Karabakh Telecom were annulled. Violating the clauses of the International Telecommunication Union, Armenia is using its international telephone code in the occupied Azerbaijani territories. Representatives of French companies have repeatedly paid unauthorized visits to the occupied territories. Baku has issued protest notes to Paris a number of times, but they merely replied that the government does not interfere with private business. According to political commentator Arzu Nagiev, it is clear that though France is a member of the OSCE Minsk group, there is a large Armenian community in France and they are lobbying this movement, i.e. the Armenian lobby in that country is financing visits and inviting people like Bako Saakyan, for example, and they are invited neither as a government official nor as a state leader, allegedly through some NGOs. However, everyone realizes that such visits are paid under the patronage of state authorities. As a result of the joint efforts of Azerbaijan's foreign ministry and the Ministry of Economy and Industry, the operation of over 30 foreign companies in the occupied Azerbaijani territories was halted. Baku believes a number of countries are turning a blind eye to the illegal actions of their businessmen and are failing to conduct awareness work with them. Though some countries enforce special restrictions to avoid conflicts, it is common knowledge that crime is widespread in the occupied Karabakh because of the lack of any control from Azerbaijan or any international organization.
На территории Нагорного Карабаха заинтересованы и наркодельцы.
The territory of Nagorno-Karabakh also attracts drug dealers. There are uncontrolled gray areas there. They aren't controlled by any units, i.e. any military entities. It is mainly Iran's border with the occupied territory of Azerbaijan. There are gray areas like that there, both in geopolitical terms and in terms of location, and also the nature there allows to grow narcotics. The mentioned facts were reflected in a March 2000 report of the U.S. Department of State regarding the strategy of international control over drugs. The report cites the use of the occupied Azerbaijani territories for mass trafficking of narcotics, and Armenia, due to its geographic location, is considered a potential subject in the international turnover of narcotics. The fact of growing hemp in the borderline occupied territories of Azerbaijan was also reflected in a PACE report on Nagorno-Karabakh. The facts of criminal activity in the occupied lands of Azerbaijan have been conveyed to the world community many times. This is due to the fact that these territories are not followed by anyone. Drugs are prepared in Nagorno-Karabakh, suitable conditions are created for their transit and smuggling into other countries through Armenia. Moreover, they are engaged in the purchase and sale of human organs and weapons and organize the training of future terrorists. The occupied territories also serve as a location where Armenian criminals noticed in criminal records in other countries go into hiding.
Well, I think it's a sea change in the policy of Armenia vis-a-vis Nagorno-Karabakh. The argument has been from the beginning that Nagorno-Karabakh, the Armenian argument, I should say, has been that the Nagorno-Karabakh is an independent nation. They send the Nagorno-Karabakh president abroad to curry support of foreign nations. I do think that it's unacceptable. There have been 4 United Nations resolutions. Why no one is moving on it, that I can't answer. It's somewhat of a mystery to me also. I think the world, but I will add that I believe the world tends to ignore frozen conflicts because they're frozen. They're not shooting wars that need to be dealt with right away.
The world community has long confirmed and condemned the wrongdoing of Armenians in the occupied Azerbaijani territories, but words have not been backed up by any action. So what stands in the way of punishing Armenia for its illegal actions in accordance with international law? There are actually several answers to that question, but many analysts blame the Armenian lobby's influence for this, more precisely, its financial resources.